Right now, as you watch this, a polar vortex is collapsing 20 miles above your head. And when it crashes, 22.5 inches of snow could bury your neighborhood in less than 48 hours. Are you ready for what is about to happen? Because this is not just another winter storm. This is a historic weather pattern that has meteorologists using words like unprecedented and potentially catastrophic. And if you live anywhere from Texas to Maine, the next 72 hours will change everything. Here is what nobody else is telling you. The stratospheric polar vortex, that massive ring of cold air that normally sits over the Arctic, is splitting apart right now. When this happens, Arctic air does not just drift south, it floods south like a broken dam. And this time, it is carrying something we have not seen in over 5 years. Let me show you the numbers that are shocking weather experts across the country. In the last 24 hours alone, temperatures in Shreveport, Louisiana, dropped to 17 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 23 degrees below normal. Orlando, Florida hit 24 degrees, breaking a 90-year-old record. And here is the kicker. Jacksonville was colder than Nuke, Greenland. Let that sink in. Florida was colder than Greenland, but that was just the warm-up act. The real story is what is coming next, and I'm going to give you the exact timeline for your city in just 30 seconds. First, you need to understand why this storm is different from anything you have experienced before. Here is your first reward. If you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, snow will begin falling at exactly 2 a.m. on Thursday, February 19th. Peak accumulation hits between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. with rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. By Friday morning, you could be looking at 18 to 24 inches on the ground. Now, why should you care about a collapsing polar vortex? Because it creates what meteorologists call a baroclinic zone. Think of it as a blender where mild Pacific air meets Arctic cold. When these two air masses collide over the central United States, they do not just create a storm, they create a weather bomb. And this bomb is about to explode across 205 million Americans. Let me walk you through exactly what is happening city by city, hour by hour, because the track of this storm will determine whether you get rain, ice, or snow. A shift of just 50 miles can mean the difference between a dusting and a blizzard. For Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas, here is your timeline. Freezing rain begins late Wednesday night, February 18th, around 11 p.m. By Thursday morning, February 19th, ice accumulation will reach 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch on power lines and trees. This is the dangerous window. Power outages will start around 6 a.m. Thursday and could last for days. The ice finally transitions to snow by Thursday afternoon, adding another 3 to 5 inches on top of the ice layer. Houston, you are in a unique situation. You will see the southern edge of this system. Rain begins Wednesday evening around 7 p.m., turning to sleet by midnight. The sleet and freezing rain mix continues through Thursday morning. Total ice accumulation, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. The critical period is Thursday morning rush hour from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. when roads will be impassable. Let me pause here and ask you something. Have you ever wondered why weather forecasters sometimes get it wrong by hundreds of miles? It is because storms like this are steered by the jet stream, and the jet stream is being pulled in two directions. The Pacific is pushing it north. The Arctic is yanking it south. Where they meet determines your weather. New Orleans and Mobile, here is what you need to know. You are on the warm side of this system. Rain begins Thursday morning around 4 a.m. Heavy at times with thunderstorms possible. But here is the twist. Behind the rain, temperatures crash. By Thursday evening, that rain could turn to sleet or even snow as the Arctic air catches up. We are talking about a 40-degree temperature drop in 6 hours. Memphis, Tennessee, you are in the bullseye. Snow begins Wednesday night at 10 p.m. By Thursday morning at 6 a.m., you will have 4 to 6 inches on the ground. The snow continues all day Thursday with rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour during the peak from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Total accumulation, 12 to 18 inches by Friday morning. This will be your heaviest snowstorm in over a decade. Nashville, get ready. Your snow starts slightly later, around midnight Thursday. The heaviest snow falls Thursday morning between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. During this 6-hour window, expect snowfall rates of 2 inches per hour. Total accumulation, 14 to 20 inches. Interstate 40 will be shut down. Interstate 65 will be impassable. Now here is something most forecasters will not tell you. The snow does not stop when the main storm passes. Lake effect snow will continue for another 24 to 48 hours after the main event, especially east of the Great Lakes. Louisville, Kentucky. Your snow begins at 2 a.m. Thursday. Peak snowfall hits between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Thursday with rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Total, 10 to 14 inches. But here is the part that matters for you. The Ohio River will create a sharp cutoff. North of the river, 10 to 14 inches. South of the river, 6 to 10 inches. Cincinnati, Ohio, similar timing. Snow starts at 3 a.m. Thursday. Heaviest from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Total accumulation, 8 to 12 inches. Interstate 71 and Interstate 75 will be extremely hazardous from Thursday morning through Friday evening. Indianapolis, Indiana, here is your window. Snow arrives at 1 a.m. Thursday. The burst of heavy snow comes Thursday morning from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Expect 10 to 16 inches with higher amounts possible in the southern suburbs. Whiteout conditions likely during peak snowfall. Chicago, Illinois, you are getting hit by multiple waves. The first wave arrives late Wednesday, February 18th, around 9 p.m. Light to moderate snow through Thursday morning adds 3 to 5 inches. But the second wave is the big one. It arrives Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. and continues through Friday morning. This wave adds another 8 to 12 inches. Combined total, 12 to 18 inches. But here is the kicker. Lake effect snow bands will set up Friday afternoon, potentially adding another 6 to 8 inches in isolated areas southwest of the lake. Detroit and Grand Rapids, Michigan, buckle up. Your snow starts at midnight Thursday. The main event runs from 6 a.m. Thursday through 6 a.m. Friday. 24 hours of continuous snow. Accumulation rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour during peak times. Total 16 to 24 inches. Lake effect snow continues through Saturday, potentially adding another 10 to 12 inches in the snow belts. Cleveland, Ohio, you are in the lake effect zone. The main storm gives you 12 to 16 inches Thursday into Friday, but then lake effect takes over. The snow does not stop. By Sunday morning, February 22nd, some areas east of Cleveland could see combined totals of 30 to 36 inches. Columbus, Ohio, your snow is more compact but intense. Begins at 2 a.m. Thursday. Peak snowfall from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thursday with rates approaching 3 inches per hour during the worst of it. Total, 10 to 14 inches by Thursday evening. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, interesting setup for you. Snow begins at 4 a.m. Thursday. The storm strengthens as it moves overhead, creating thundersnow conditions between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Thursday. During this 4-hour window, you could see snowfall rates of 3 to 4 inches per hour. Total accumulation, 14 to 20 inches. This could be your biggest February snowstorm since 1978. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and New York City, New York, you are the big question marks. Everything depends on the storm track. If it tracks 50 miles west, you get mostly snow, 12 to 18 inches possible. If it tracks 50 miles east, you get rain changing to snow with only 4 to 8 inches. The current forecast has the storm tracking just west enough to give both cities significant snow. For Philadelphia, snow begins Friday morning at 4 a.m. Peak snowfall from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Friday. Total, 10 to 16 inches. For New York City, snow starts Friday morning at 6 a.m. Heaviest from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday. Total, 8 to 14 inches with higher amounts north and west of the city. Boston, Massachusetts, you are getting the nor'easter enhancement. As this storm moves up the coast Friday, it will bomb out, meaning the pressure drops rapidly, intensifying the storm. Snow begins Friday morning at 8 a.m., but the real show starts Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. Friday through Saturday morning at 6 a.m., expect snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour. Total accumulation, 18 to 26 inches. This could approach the February 2015 blizzard totals. Washington, D.C., you are in a tricky spot. The storm could give you all snow, all rain, or a messy mix. Current forecast, rain begins Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Changes to snow Thursday night around 10 p.m. Heaviest snow Friday morning from 6 a.m. to noon. Total snow accumulation, 6 to 12 inches. Now let me talk about the rest of the country because this storm is not just an East Coast event. Denver, Colorado, you already got hit earlier this week. But another system arrives Saturday, February 21st, bringing another 4 to 8 inches. Minneapolis, Minnesota, you are dealing with the cold, not the snow. Temperatures Friday morning drop to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit, wind chill values minus 40 to minus 50 degrees. This is life-threatening cold. Exposed skin can freeze in less than 5 minutes. Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon, you are actually in a warm pattern. While the east freezes, you will see temperatures in the 50s with occasional rain showers. Phoenix, Arizona, and Las Vegas, Nevada, you are getting the warm ridge. Expect record-high temperatures in the low to mid-80s. Miami, Florida, after that record cold last week, you are warming back up. High temperatures Saturday and Sunday, 78 to 82 degrees. Los Angeles, California, beautiful weather continues. Sunny skies, high temperatures in the mid-60s to low 70s. Now, what about all those outdoor events you have planned for late February? If you are going to the Daytona 500 on February 23rd, the forecast looks chilly but dry. High temperature around 58 degrees with partly cloudy skies. You will want a jacket, but the race should run on time. For the Winter Music Festival in Tampa, February 27th through March 1st, temperatures will be mild, in the upper 60s to low 70s during the day, dropping to the 50s at night. SXSW in Austin starts March 12th. Early forecast shows pleasant spring weather with highs in the 70s. Universal Mardi Gras in Orlando runs through early April. The late February period looks beautiful with highs in the mid-70s and sunshine. NBA All-Star Weekend in Los Angeles. February 14th through 16th features perfect weather, sunny skies, high temperatures in the upper 60s. Here is what you need to do right now. Comment below with your city, and I will personally give you an updated forecast for your specific location. Seriously, drop your city name in the comments, and I will respond with your exact snow totals and timing. But before you go, here is what happens after this storm. The polar vortex does not just reset. It stays disrupted through the end of February and possibly into early March. That means more storms, more cold, more snow. The pattern we are in is not a one-and-done situation. This is the beginning of a very active period, and here is the promise I made at the beginning. At minute 5, I told you I would deliver something specific. Here it is. The absolute worst day for travel in the entire United States during this storm is Thursday, February 19th from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. More than 15,000 flights will be canceled. Interstates 90, 80, 70, and 65 will all be shut down at various points. If you have travel plans for Thursday, cancel them now. Reschedule for Sunday, February 22nd or later. One more thing. The ice storm portion of this event, from northern Texas through Arkansas and into Tennessee, is going to cause widespread power outages that could last a week or more. If you live in this zone, charge all your devices tonight. Fill your bathtubs with water. Stock up on non-perishable food. Get cash from the ATM. When the power goes out, it is going to stay out for days. The next 72 hours will be intense, but you are prepared now. You know when it starts, you know when it peaks, you know when it ends, and most importantly, you know what to do. Stay safe out there. Drop your city in the comments for a personalized forecast, and I will see you in the next video where I break down what happens after this storm passes, because trust me, this winter is far